Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of January 8th through January 12th, where we'll be selecting and looking at our top swing trading stocks to watch, stocks in our bullpen, stocks in our shopping list. We'll also talk about income generating opportunities using dividend payers and several option strategies. So stick around, we've got a lot to cover. Thank you for joining us today, Walter Lyons, Brian Moritz in the live chat today. Hope you all are doing well. So here's our Google document with our notes for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for January 8th through January 12th. We keep our notes for our weekly trading game plans in publicly accessible Google documents. You can find a direct link to this Google document in the description box below. Our notes contain links to bonus videos, the tools and resources we use to select and trade our top swing trading stocks to watch, etc. If you haven't already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this week, titled How to Make Money Trading in January, we would highly recommend that you also view part 1, as that contains our market analysis, strategies, trade ideas for how to make money trading in January, as well as the input data for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan to select our top swing trading stocks to watch. We keep all of our notes in a publicly accessible Google Drive folder, so you can refer back to the notes for part 1 as well as previous weeks, and you can find a direct link to that Google Drive folder also in the description box below. So we'll start off reviewing our trade updates for this week. So we got stopped out of our latest position in TECS. TECS is a leveraged short on the broad technology industry. And we had entered a position in December 11th at 1088. We got stopped out on the 4th at 1105 for a small profit with an ROI of about 1.6%. Which equates to a monthly ROI of about 24% on price appreciation for the scalp on TECS. We had entered that expecting an eventual downturn in the technology sector, probably into the first of the year, and that's what we saw once the Magnificent Seven, once the profit taking in the Magnificent Seven occurred as of the first of the year. Congratulations to all of our fellow BeachBum traders who profited from the swing trade on TECS. And as you'll see, we'll look for additional opportunities to scalp the technology sector short again with TECS, as well as a number of other opportunities. So just quickly jump over to Webull. Firstly, just a reminder, if you'd like to get real-time trade alerts when we enter or exit a trade, you can get email notifications when we enter or exit a trade by joining any level of our Patreon. You can find a direct link to our Patreon in the description box below, also here in the notes. Also, we have a couple channels that are available to our Patreon members in our Discord. So the first channel is a Thinkorswim alerts channel. So I have price alerts set up in Thinkorswim. When those get triggered, they automatically get posted to the Thinkorswim channel. And then if we follow that up with a trade, I would reply to that in the Thinkorswim channel. So you can see when that price alert triggered in Thinkorswim for our stop in TECS, and then I replied back there. We also have a trade alerts channel. If enter or exit a trade not directly related to a Thinkorswim trade alert, then I would post that in the trade alerts channel. And again, you can get access to those alerts channels as well as email notifications of our entries and exits via joining any level of our Patreon. Again, I don't ever recommend that you blindly follow us or anyone else into or out of a trade, but if this would help you make money trading, help you succeed in your trading career, you can get that information by joining any level of our Patreon. Welcome to Ricky Khan. Glad to see you this morning. Thank you for joining us. So if I quickly look at that TECS trade in Webull, we could see we entered on the 11th, so back here at about 1088. So in this area, they did continue to push technology up through the end of the year. We again kind of expected that turnaround to occur at the first of the year, which is what we saw. So we see that nice pop up in TECS as of the turn of the year. It trended up, and then again it rolled over on the 4th, and we got out on that dip. So now we'll look at our top swing trading stocks to watch list for this week. I'll go over our current top swing trading stocks to watch, and then we can also look at them in our watch list Google Sheet and also the charts in Webull. So the first one we're adding to our watch list for this week is APLY. APLY is one of the yield max covered call buy right strategy ETFs on Apple. And you can hear our previous review of some of the yield max ETFs via the link to our video. You can also find that video on our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel. Again, where we started looking at the yield max ETFs. We're also going to talk about some of the others today later, and we'll look at APLY also in our Dividend Payers Google Sheet. Since they've been pushing Apple down a little bit, this has a pretty nice dividend yield. It just went ex-dividend on the 5th, so we see that little gap down due to the ex-dividend date. If they continue to push Apple down, this may be an attractive way to play Apple long and holding APLY, collecting the dividend while we wait for, Apple to appreciate back. I suspect, they're going to continue to buy the dip on the Magnificent Seven. I don't expect Apple to really have significant price appreciation this year. But again, if we get APLY low and then hold it when they push the Magnificent Seven, push Apple back up, we can collect the dividends plus scalping on that price appreciation. So the next one we talked about yesterday is the FAZ, which is the short on the financial sector. Again, we've got the big banks starting to report earnings late this week, so this is probably a late week into maybe early next week play. But if they do push the financials up, then we would be watching for a top or resistance in FAS, which is the leverage long in the financial sector, and looking to short an overly exuberant pop in financials using FAZ. I suspect, in the future, there may be still some regional bank issues in the financial sector, so I see this as an opportunity to take advantage of those types of issues, particularly, again, on an overly exuberant run in the big banks this week. If you want to hear more about our analysis of financial sector ETFs, you can listen to that analysis via the link in the notes as well as on our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel. We've been watching land, and we've been swing trading, scalping land, which is a REIT on farmland. It's slowly trending down right now. I thought maybe on Friday I'd be able to get a buy the dip on land, so we're still watching that. It's a little above. I'm again looking for a support level, a good price to get in, and then we'll hold that. Again, we hold that more for price appreciation than its 5-cent dividend. Also, yesterday we looked at several of the other technology components, and we saw how ARK is a little more vulnerable when they do a risk off, and we saw how it dropped more than, say, the FANGs or the overall NASDAQ. So again, if they, as we discussed yesterday, if they do pump up technology, try to bounce it again like they tried to bounce it Thursday, failed, bounced it a little bit on Friday. If that bounce continues and they try to run up technology components, some of the ones we are looking to short on an overly exuberant run would be ARK using SARK. Again, we would watch for the top or resistance in ARK for an entry in SARK. We also have SOXS, which is the short on the semiconductors. Again, we saw semiconductors dropped off. So we'd be watching for a top resistance in SOXL, again, on an overly exuberant run. And then we also talked about TECS, so the broader technology. So we've got three of the technology components. Again, if they continue to try to bounce technology or we get an overly exuberant run, like if they try to continue the bounce early this week or they have an exuberant reaction to better than expected CPI, PPI data at the end of the week, then again, once those top out, we would look at shorting ARK with SARK, semiconductors with SOXS, and TECS with, or technology with TECS. The other thing we talked about yesterday is industrials. Industrials recently hit a new 52-week high. If they do push that back up to that 52-week high, XLI is the sector spider on industrials. Then again, on a top resistance in XLI, we would look to short industrials with SIJ. So I'm going to jump over to our new watch list Google sheet, and we'll take a look at those, and then we'll also look at them in our in Webull. So just a reminder, now we have a Google sheet, a watch list Google sheet that we keep track of our top swing trading stocks to watch, our bullpen stocks, our shopping list stocks, and you can get access to 24/7 access to that Google sheet by joining any level of our Patreon. You can hear our previous discussions of how we constructed and how you can use this watch list Google sheet to help you with your trading via the bonus links to these videos. We've got part 1 and part 2. They haven't been released yet. They're released to our Patreons. But again, you can listen to those via the bonus links in our notes. And again, you can find a link to our Patreon in the description box below. Good morning, Carmen and Douglas PC. Thank you for joining us. Hope you all are doing well. So here's our watch list Google sheet. You can see we have sheets for our top swing trading stocks to watch in watch list 1 sheet, bullpens, shopping lists, and we'll look at those. Also, you can track and watch the sectors for sector rotation using the sectors sheet, and we have our screeners also available in the screeners tab. So again, kind of one-stop shop where I can watch all of our various watch lists in near real time during the day. Again, there's about a 20-minute delay in these Google Finance functions. So the white columns, again, are Google Finance function based, and the gray columns are automatically populated at the end of each day by our automated system. So we can see, you know, our top swing trading stocks to watch lists. We see FAZ and land were down. Again, land's getting pretty close to my ideal buy price. We see SOX, they tried to push semiconductors up a little bit on Friday. TECS was flat. Also, We're continuing to watch USOI, which is a long on oil, monthly dividend payer on oil. Again, they bounced oil back up. It's probably in the 73s or so, and we would really like to buy USOI when WTI crude is below 70. So if I also look at those charts in Webull, we'll look at APLY. So again, this is going to roughly track Apple. We'll look at the chart in FinViz as well for APLY when we get to our dividend payers, but you can see it's relatively low right now. So you see it's downtrended as they pushed Apple down some. So again, we'll just wait for, an overly irrational dip in Apple and buy APLY, hold it for the monthly dividend, and we'll look at the dividend in our dividend payer sheet. Welcome, Doug M. Thank you for joining us. So again, we're looking for, a pop, a top resistance level in ARK K, and then we would use that top to determine our entry point in SARK. So again, all the shorts, we're going to use the long version to determine our entry points. So you see ARK K descended, as of the first of the year, as did all the technology components. So again, if it approaches that all-time high or 52-week high again, or a resistance point, then we would use that for an entry to SARK. Here's FAS, which is the long on the financial sector. You can see it's very high as well. So again, if we get an exuberant pop in the financial sector, then we would short the financial sector using FAZ. Here's land, the REIT on farmland. So again, the recent low is 1327. I've got a buy price set at about 1335. I've seen on the level 2, often it gets support around 1371, 1351. So if they build up a base of support there at 1371 again, I might take that buy again. You can see we've scalped this several times from that type of level up into the high 14s and made some nice profit. SIJ, again, we've got XLI, watch for, peak, top, and XLI, the industrial sector. And if we see that top resistance, we would again short industrials with SIJ. Talked about semiconductors. So again, semiconductors like technology downtrended. They tried to pop it, made a little bit of a positive pop on Friday. We'll see if that continues. And again, if it approaches its recent high, we would short with SOXS. And we talked about TECL and TECS. So again, I would use the top in TECL to determine the entry point TECS. Now again, if you're a day trader, short-term trader, scalper, and you're more nimble than I am, you can use just movement, momentum in any of these day trade using these pairs to scalp and make money using these pairs, just depending on what the momentum of the day is. So I hope that helps. Welcome, Easy Mike. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well as well. So we'll also review our bullpen stocks. Our concept of our bullpen stocks are not ones that I typically watch real time during the day, although our Watchlist Google Sheet now is, facilitated being able to watch our bullpen and shopping list much more efficiently. But these are ones that might present an attractive swing trading setup in the near future. So I put them in the bullpen, revisit them at the end of the day. If their setup has improved, then we put them into our top swing trading stocks to watch list, put them in the game, move them up. If they run away or break down, then we just take them out of the bullpen and we can revisit them later. So one we've had for a while in the bullpen is a small cap, low float electronics components company, CPSH. You can hear our previous quick take due diligence on CPSH via the link in the notes, the bonus link in the notes. We're still watching this. If it comes down a little bit, I might take a small position in CPSH. Seems to be holding up a little bit. Again, it's low float, kind of choppy. The other one we talked about is, if gold makes a run at its all-time high again, we would look at shorting that. It got rejected pretty severely off that high previously, and we would use GDXD to short gold. And you can hear our previous analysis of various ETFs that you can use to short gold via the link to this video in our notes, and again also on our channel. So again, now we can see our Bullpen Stocks in our Watchlist Google Sheet. So you can see, CPSH, our buy price is really, I would probably buy it at the 52-week low, which is 221. So if it gets close to that, I might take a small position at CPSH. We saw, again, gold made a run at 2100, got rejected, went down to near 2050, bounced back up, made a run late in the week. So we'll see if it tries to break that 2100 again. And if so, we might take a short using GDXD. So let me grab a quick drink and we'll go look at these charts for the Bullpen Stocks as well in Webull. Just a quick reminder, if you're not already using Webull, they're still offering 75 fractional shares of stock if you open and fund an account with at least 25K. If you fund it with less than 25K, you can still get 30 free fractional shares of stock. Each of these fractional shares is worth $3,000 to $3,000. So if you're not already using Webull, you can see we use it for our market analysis, our due diligence, the majority of our trading. And if you would use our affiliate link in the description box below, you can get your free fractional shares and also help support our BeachBum trading community, which we greatly appreciate. I'm using the online browser version of Webull. You can see some of the nice features. You can have multiple watch lists. It's easy to quickly flip through the watch lists. Again, I can flip through my Bullpen Stocks very quickly at the end of the day. So we see this CPSH that's been kind of chopping along a support level. It's forming a pretty nice base. They are, a potential turnaround stock. And if we get a rotation, get some more momentum in the electronics industry, we might get a swing back up, and we see it's got plenty of potential upside, but again, small, low float, pretty choppy. We talked about gold. So again, the leveraged long on gold that we use is GDXU, leverage short GDXD. Again, this doesn't quite mirror the gold spot price, so I watch the gold price, I think, is /GC in Thinkorswim, and I have a price alert set at the recent high. So if that gets triggered, that would be how I would determine the entry point to short gold with GDXD. Don't have any honorable mention. I had another one. I think it was another electronics components, but I turned that one down based on analysis and chart mill, etc. So our shopping list stocks, again, we always recommend that you have a shopping list of stocks that you want to buy, given an irrational reaction in the markets to earnings. Again, we're just entering the bulk of earnings season again, so we may get some irrational reactions. You want to have your list ready to be able to take advantage of those, and I'll show you what we have in our shopping list in a second. Just a couple caveats is, beware of zombie stocks. We don't like zombie stocks, zombie companies, ones that are, unprofitable, can't service their debt. And if you want to understand more about zombie stocks and zombie companies and zombie ETFs, you can learn more about those via the links in our notes. Also, we've been talking about the January effect and that laggards to leaders and leaders to laggards effect typically occurs in January. So some of the majorly beaten down stocks may get some love early in January. So if you'd like to learn more about the January effect and what that may mean for stocks that you may be looking to buy to put on your shopping list, you can hear more about that via the link in our notes. And past couple weeks, we've looked at ways to screen for those laggards that might get some love in January. So again, now in our watch list Google Sheet, we now have a tab for our watch list. You can see some of the ones that I just have in our shopping list, ones I kind of like to watch. Some of these have had past irrational reactions to earnings, like Cody, IBM, Bud, etc. I'll keep Amazon and some of the other mega cap techs in there so I can watch their behavior. Disney, if it drops down below 90 towards 80 or so, we'd look at potentially longing Disney or selling cash secured puts in Disney again. We watch JEPI and JEPQ as potential dividend payers. You see land is attractive, so it's showing green as one we want to watch. A couple other REITs we watch, LTC, Stag. You see all of those are a little bit higher than we'd like, Uranium, Tesla, etc., Microsoft. So I'm starting to call and build out our shopping lists a little better. So again, you can see what we're watching for a shopping list via the shopping list tab in our watch list Google Sheet. So I hope that also helps. Okay, let me grab a quick drink and we'll talk about dividend payers. If anyone has a particular dividend payer, I've got some additions. I've got some previous questions from fellow beach bums. We'll look at those. If anyone has any others you want to look at, you can throw those up in the chat. We'll try to take a look at those in our dividend payers Google Sheet. Okay, just a reminder, you can get access to our dividend payers Google Sheet, and you can use this to identify dividend payers that meet your income desires as well as your risk reward profiles by joining our Patreon at the all access or VIP level. So again, you can find a direct link to our Patreon in the notes, also in the description box below. So again, another way to generate income as you're waiting for your swing trades to work out. Couple additions or an addition that I want to look at first in our dividend payers Google Sheet is LEG, which is Leggett and Platt. It's a furnishing company, furnishings, fixtures, and appliances. So it's a consumer cyclical. So I want to quickly jump over and take a look at that. That one popped up as potentially being attractive. So I want to look at that one quickly in our dividend payers Google Sheet. So here's LEG. You can see it pays a 46-cent dividend. Went ex-dividend last on 12/14. It's a quarterly dividend. You can see its yearly performance Now we added that yearly performance analysis and a net yield, so it's, underperformed. It's been down 21% for the past year. Gives a nominal yield of 7%. Again, its performance has been poor the past year. See, the risk reward profile isn't all that great, so it's kind of balanced. Not a whole lot of risk reward right this second. It is optionable. And again, you can access the profiles, the FinViz profiles, via the link in the FinViz URL. So we see it's downtrended and then bounced and got rejected off resistance. So if it comes back down, that might be attractive. Again, pays 7% yield. Sentiment's pretty negative. It does have significantly high debt. It's got quite a few shares. It's not a discrepancy between the float and the outstanding. So if we zoom out a little bit, see it's been trending down for a long time. See it's approaching this, it's got some support near that bottom level, a long time support, and got plenty of upside, into the 50s and 60s. So a nice risk reward over a very long time frame. They are profitable, so they make, a decent amount of money. You can see they've got furniture and engineered components for homes, offices, auto, commercial aircraft, so, well diversified. See their EBITDA, positive. It declined a little bit. EPS, again, it's positive, so it's a money maker. They've just been in a bit of a recession for quite a period of time. So again, if it approaches that support level, this might be a dividend payer that becomes more attractive. Again, it's got a nominal yield of 7%. So I hope that all helps. Again, a new one we've added to our Dividend Payers Google Sheet. So you can find it here, and if it becomes attractive, it'll pop up as green. Like we can see land right now is green. The other one, Easy Mike, yesterday asked to look at OARC. OARC, again, is another one of the yield max on ARK-K. And we did a previous analysis on OARC. And you can hear our previous analysis on OARC via the link to that video in the notes. We can take a updated look at OARC a second. So you can see you can find OARC in our Google Sheet. So you can see it paid a 24-cent dividend, went ex-dividend on the 7th. It's a monthly dividend payer. See, its nominal yield's very high, 48%. Its performance over the past year was negative 24%. So that ends up giving us a net yield of only 23%, but that's still, quite high. Again, it's going to move kind of with ARK-K. So you see the risk reward profile currently is pretty nice. Longer term, it's not, is as exciting. And if we look at the chart for OARC a second, again, it's going to roughly mirror ARK-K. So again, we see as of January, it's declined, got rejected. You see it, even though ARK-K hit, all 52-week high, OARC didn't really get that 52-week high, and that's what we're going to see in all these yield maxes. Is there some degree of deterioration in their strategy? So even though the underlying stock hits a new high, their yield max isn't necessarily going to go back to its previous high. But again, scalping these technology components short term, as we're going to also look at APLY, which is another one of these. If you buy it low, take the price appreciation, scalp it, short-term swing trade, you can collect a healthy dividend in the meantime. So again, if OARC comes back down to that low, again, ARK-K gets pushed down irrationally. it might be a nice dividend payer to play ARK-K with and collect the dividends while you wait for ARK-K to recover versus just buying the shares themselves. So I hope that helps. Easy Mike, if anyone else has any other questions about OARK or again these yield maxes, again we'll take a look at them again. Again, I do want to look at APLY. That's another yield max that we added to our watch list. So here's APLY. Again, it pays a monthly dividend. You can see 56-cent dividend just went ex-dividend on the 5th. If we look at its 52-week performance, you can see it's negative -8. So that still gives us a net yield of about 7%. So not as exciting as OARK. You can see the risk reward currently is very attractive. Longer term, not so much. So again, not one I would necessarily hold for a long period of time, but if we can scalp it, short-term swing trade it, and you can see that precipitous drop as they took profits, sold down. Apple got some downgrades, had some negative news, and so Apple declined, and APLY really dropped off, and it had the ex-dividend date. So that's where we're looking at. Once it bottoms out, we would grab a chunk of APLY. You can see nominal yield of 15%. It is optionable. Again, you can see it doesn't necessarily follow Apple's. It has these significant gap downs on the ex-dividend date. Doesn't necessarily recover that whole amount. So again, not one I would necessarily hold long term. But if you can catch one of these dips when it bottoms, sell it out on the top. Again, decent price appreciation profit plus the healthy 56-cent or 46-cent dividends. So Easy Mike, yeah, we looked at LAG, LAG. So again, if anybody else has some other dividend payers you want to look at, if I missed your ticker, please throw it back up in the chat. You see FAZ does pay a small dividend, but again, that's more swing trade, scalp trade. Okay, USOI, Hershey's showing attractive. Again, one we're watching, but the risk reward, if it gets a little bit lower, again, the risk reward profile is not all that exciting. USOI, again, this is another interesting one as I'm watching this TLTW. This TLTW is now showing a net yield. It's better than TLT. So on a dip in treasuries, this might be something to consider. It pays, showing a net yield of about 10%, whereas TLT right now is only showing negative 2%. So again, the addition of the net yield to our Google Sheet, I think, helps us compare some of these ETFs or dividend-paying stocks nicely. So this shows TLTW may be a more attractive choice to hold treasuries. Welcome, Sydney Osborne. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. Easy Mike says insurance always makes money. So if there are particular insurance dividend payers you want to look at, yeah, Berkshire owns a lot of Geico. The only other one, USOI, again, that's on oil. So again, right now it's a little high. I would like it down, below 60. And again, it went ex-dividend on the 19th of December. Probably go again around the 19th of January. So I'll leave that up if anybody wants to look at some other dividend payers. Again, if you'd like us to do research on any dividend payers, you just let us know. Put it in the comments to this video. put it in our Discord. Again, our Discord's free to join, with the exception of the few channels that I pointed out. It's publicly accessible. Again, some of the channels I pointed out are for our Patreons only. Again, you can hear more about how to use our Dividend Payers Google Sheet via the series of videos in the notes. You can also find them again on our BeachBum Trading channel. Okay, let me grab a drink. We'll talk about option strategies very quickly. Good morning, Tony Roses. Thank you for also joining us. Hope you're doing well. So we've got a couple option strategies that we look at to try to also generate additional income while we're looking for our swing trades, our scalp trades to work out. One is selling covered calls when our stocks we hold go up, buy them back when they go down, sell cash secured puts when stocks are going down, buy them back when they're coming back up. Also employ the wheel strategy, and you can find our criteria in the notes. We have a puts ROIC Google Sheet that we use to help us identify opportunities to sell and buy back puts. And you can get 24/7 access to that puts ROIC Google Sheet, as well as our Dividend Payers and ETF Google Sheets, by joining our Patreon at the All Access or VIP level. Got a couple additions that I added to the research sheet, and we can take a quick look at those. Also, I will be rolling the expiration, any of the January expirations, I will roll over to February on Monday, and then we'll collect the data for the February options and populate our puts ROIC Google Sheet with those on Monday. Also, if you'd like us to add and do the research on any other stock, if you give us the symbol, the strike price, the expiration, I can add that to the research tab, add it to our automated systems, and then our systems will collect and populate that data in the puts ROIC Google Sheet for you, and then we can take a look and see if those are attractive puts to take a look at. Again, we've got a series of videos on how this is constructed, how you can use this puts ROIC Google Sheet to identify opportunities to buy and sell puts via the link in our notes. And then we also have a whole playlist of videos on how you can also use options to make money trading, help you succeed in your trading career in our options playlist. Good morning, MD. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. So here's, again, with the VIX being as low as it's been, it's still in the low 13s. There aren't a whole lot of really attractive puts to sell. You can see nothing is showing up as green in our main watch list that says, the price isn't what I would look for. On the research tab, look at a couple of the ones we've added. So we added Match at 27.5. We added Paycom and PayPal at 150. You can see the Match one I set out to January of 2025. Also UAL, I put that out to 2025 at 33 strike to just kind of see if the premium would be attractive. I'm not terribly excited about holding put for that long, so those I'd be looking to scalp those. Buy them when it's going down, sell them back if it bounces back up. If we look at those couple, so Match, so So here's match with a January 2025. Again, it's the price isn't too bad. So the ROIC, it's below 5%. I'm getting 5% cash in my money market in my account. So I looked at what the top price was, and at that price it'd be a 8%, 8.5% ROIC. So, keep an eye on that one. Paycom and PayPal, not terribly attractive. Premiums are very low currently for the January 24. UAL though, also if you go out to 2025, it starts to look a little attractive. Still only 2%. But again, if I look for the recent top, it gets up to about 6.9%. So again, if this ROIC gets above 5%, I might get interested. So I hope that helps. And again, I'll probably be rolling the expirations of any of the 2024s into February on Monday, and we'll see if that helps. Also, if we get a little bit of a perk in the VIX, we might get better premiums. Okay. Our alerts channel, we do have another alerts channel in our Discord where my automated systems posts near real-time alerts as stocks are moving up, breaking out, near their buy price, etc. And we have a bonus link to our video, our previous discussion about how those alerts are calculated, how they're sent. The first in that series, so you can listen to that via the link in our notes. I'll come back to this if we have time today, but I wanted to get to some of the topics people have been asking to discuss. So a couple weeks ago, or last week, or a couple weeks ago, we started talking about how to trade biotech stocks. So I put together that previous discussion in a video, how to trade biotech stocks for beginners. And again, that will be a whole series. This will probably be a further video in that series, but you can hear that initial discussion via the bonus link to that video in our in the notes. And we talked about some of the factors to consider: catalyst, cash burn, quarters cash flow positive, their pipeline, and we identified a couple of resource links. Easy Mike had also mentioned that he wanted to talk about biotechs. In particular, I guess you were talking about several phase 2 trials that are coming up. The readouts for those trials are coming up. So I thought we might focus on looking at trial dates today and come back and look at cash burn and pipeline more so in the future. So you can see one of our first resource links, and also for Carmen, we'll try to use this BIVI as a case study as we build out this series of videos. We'll try to build a case study using BIVI, which is the one Carmen asked about. So again, if we look at the FDA calendar, this is one of our first resources we've got the links to. So if you're looking for a trial for a particular stock, you can see what their calendar is for the FDA. So let's see if we can search for the BIVI. Again, it's been quite some time since I've traded biotech stocks. I'm still really not pursuing them. So BIVI doesn't show up with anything in the FDA calendar right now, but we can see some of the other stocks. You can see what you can select, the drugs, etc. Anyone's got a particular drug that your particular company that you'd like to search for in the FDA calendar, you see it provides future catalysts. See if anything comes up for Moderna. So it's not really showing anything there. So again, it's a resource that you could use. We can see Altimmune, Hepion, etc. See the names of their drugs. Here's the indications that are upcoming. Look at some of our other resources. So here's the trial tracker. So screen for companies with upcoming clinical trial. So you can screen for, different market caps, particular companies. I don't see BIVI in there. Again, offhand. You could select what phase. So Easy Mike was talking about some phase 2s. I don't see, again, anything. Again, you can conditions, a number of different ways you can select different options to screen for various trials. Clinicaltrials.gov. That's probably one I've used more. So I did a search, for BIVI. So here we can see several several trials are recruiting. So see what their dates are, so you can select any of these trials, look at them in more detail. Looks like it, okay, so I didn't find anything for BIVI. I don't know of any Colombian drug companies offhand. So again, maybe I can come up with a particular, find studies, how to search. Maybe I can find another case study with some data in these sites that we can look at them in more detail. Okay, so here's an example of the clinical trials, one that I got some results for. So here's BioV. So you can see the results. So there's some completed trials, terminated trials, not yet recruiting. So again, you can put a term in there. Okay, so that's the name of BIVI. So here's the trials for BIVI. So we can see they had completed, so you can see the results of that trial. See, they had a trial terminated. I think that's what Carmen was talking about, that they had a trial that was terminated, got negative reaction. So, obviously if a trial's terminated early, it's probably because it was either non-effective or there were some issues with the drug. You see, they've got one that's not recruiting. They've got one that's completed. So again, it kind of gives you some idea of, how the health of the company, the biotech is, if they've had a lot of terminated trials, if they've completed some, you can dig into the results of those via this clinicaltrials.gov site. So I hope that all helps. So again, in the future, we'll look at their pipeline. Actually, while we're here, why don't we look at the pipeline for that BioV? So since we can get to their home page right off their FinBiz profile, so I can open up their home page. You can see there's the link to their home page. Typically on these biotechs, they'll have a pipeline page. So here's BioV. Looks like there's Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. Okay, so just a personal comment. Again, none of our content should be considered financial advice. We're not financial advisors. All of our content's for education and entertainment purposes only. But these are tough diseases to deal with. Most of the people that have tried to come up with Alzheimer's drugs, Parkinson's drugs have failed. This is a small biotech. I mean, maybe they'll be lucky, but these are tough. So most of the trials tend to fail. Typically, again, a biotech will have a pipeline page, and that's what I would be looking for, is their pipeline, so we can try their innovations. But again, you're looking for their pipeline, and you want to see their trial progress, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. What have they completed? What are they in progress? So again, I don't see that on their page offhand. We can look at a particular one, Alzheimer's. So again, a lot of discussion. I don't see their pipeline. So again, it makes it a little bit difficult. Again, if you're looking at a biotech, that's one of the things you want to see is, do they have a healthy pipeline? Are they progressing along their phases, etc.? So maybe we'll try to find another biotech to use and look at their pipeline as well. So I hope that helps. So again, we'll continue this discussion on how to trade biotech stocks in the upcoming weekly trading game plans. I hope that helps. Again, if someone else has some other biotechs you specifically want to look at, please let us know in the comments. Again, you can always contact us in our Discord. Just tag us, BeachBum Trading, all lowercase, no characters, numbers, etc. Anybody else is an imposter. You can also always contact us via any of our social media. You can find links to all our social media sites on our homepage, beachbumtrading.com. Under the link section, so plenty of ways you can contact us. And if you have any other questions about other stocks you want us to look at, do research on other stocks, or just have topics for discussion, please let us know in any of those ways. Also, we'd love to hear your feedback on how we can improve our weekly trading game plans, our other videos, our other tools, Google Sheets, etc., our communities, etc. What can we do to add more value for all of our BeachBum traders? So please let us know what we can do, and we'll try to do what we can. If you're not already subscribed, we hope you will choose to subscribe. We hope that you like this content and that you'll smash the like button for us to try to get the YouTube algorithm to share our content with more traders around the world. Don't have a whole lot of luck with the YouTube algorithm, so we'd appreciate your personal help with also sharing our content with your fellow traders. Let's continue to grow our BeachBum trading community. We've got a great community. You can see in the live chat, see in our Discord. Again, we can continue these discussions 24/7 in our Discord as well. Discord's free to join. You can find a link in the description box below. So again, we hope this all helps, and we hope that you have a great trading week, and we hope we'll see you all back next weekend, 10 a.m. Saturdays and Sundays, for our weekly trading game plans. Thank you for watching, and thank you to everyone who participated in the live chat. And again, we wish you a great trading week, and have a great day. Bye.